This
Dr. Vijaya?
conference will now be recorded.
Yeah.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rajni Jain. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I like to welcome you all to this online meeting. The duration of online meeting is normally for about 30 to 40 minutes. We request all the participants to mute themselves to avoid background disturbances. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajni. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lakshmipati. I will be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome Dr. M Vijaya to this meeting. Dr. Vijaya is the Dean of Vijaya Madikanti Sri Konda Laxman, Telangana State Horticulture University, Telangana. She will be speaking on the topic cultivation of valuable horticulture crops with less water. First, the speaker will talk briefly about the topic. Then the participants will be able to ask questions. Questions can also be added to the chat window. Please note, this is an agriculture related meeting where speakers and participants are likely to come from even rural and remote areas. Internet connections are likely to be disrupted. If there are any internet disturbances during the meeting and the speaker gets disconnected, I request the participants to bear with us and remain patient. We will try to reconnect with the speaker again. If there are repeated disconnections, then as a last resort, we may need to even cancel this meeting and reschedule to an alternative date. I now request the speaker to begin.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, first of all, I thank the forum for inviting me for this. I feel honored and then happy to be here with you to share some of this information. I think most of you are aware of this. Still, we discuss so that we can share our information, whatever we know. And then I think straight away going to the topic, I can start with the cultivation practices of high value horticulture crops with less water requirement. So actually, if you see the low level of farmers' income and year-to-year fluctuations in it, these are the major source of agrarian distress now. And this distress is spreading and getting severe over time, impacting most of the almost half of the population of the country that is dependent on farming for livelihood. This is the reason our even government of India is going for, even our state CM is time and again going for some of the schemes which can support this farming system, farmers, then agriculture, horticulture, all these for sustainability for these things, so that we can have sufficient food and the farmers can be can have sustainable agriculture or horticulture, whatever it is. So for this, we are good. Even the governments are doing a lot of exercise over this. According to the Prospects and Action Plan of National Institution for Transforming India, Government of India, doubling the real income of farmers, that requires harnessing all possible sources of growth in farmers' income within as well as outside agriculture sector. That is, even in the agriculture sector, which includes horticulture and non-farming, that is farming and non-farming. Both we can take for the doubling of this, real doubling, not the just calculating on the paper and all. You to go for real income of the farmers. These things need to be addressed. Yeah. So if you go for the major sources of growth operating within the agriculture sector, that is farming sector, then we can list out this as improvement in productivity, resource resource use efficiency or saving cost of production. That is, when you save the cost of production, the farmer's income is automatically enhanced. And increase in cropping intensity, diversification towards high value crops. This is a very important thing which we are going to speak today. The sources outside agriculture sector also, that is like non-farming. We see these things as shifting cultivators from farm to non-farm occupations, and improvement in terms of trade for farmers or real prices received by farmers. So this trade and non-farming business, then farming business, all these include for the enhancement of the farming community. Actually, we need to say that horticulture has emerged as a bright spot of Indian agriculture, and India's horticulture production grew at a phenomenal pace. That we can definitely say that. And if you take the data from Agriculture Ministry, horticulture crops first outpaced food variants 6 years ago only. Since then, horticulture output has been mostly widening its margin with food production, profound impact on farm income, water utilization, land usage, and employment patterns. Then farm-related policies also need to be kept with to meet with this shift. And if you see this horticulture, which is on rise, you just see the food grains, which are in yellow color, and then horticulture crops. This can be seen in green color from year to year, from 2012-13 to 2017-18. If you take, there's a great increase in this. Now, so we have to go for diversification, as we said just now. Diversification towards high value crops, which are these medicinal plants, then spices, then fruit crops, all these crops which include high value crops. So we have to go for shifting to this towards these crops. Now, if we say what are the high value crops? High value crops generally refer to non-staple agriculture crops such as vegetables, fruits, flowers, ornamentals, condiments, and spices. And most of the high value crops are those known to have a higher net return per hectare of land. This is the definition wise, if you say. Which have a higher net return per hectare of land than staples or other widely grown crops. This is the meaning of the high value crops. When we speak about high value crops, this is the first thing we have to know about this. And if you see the diversification towards high value crops, this offers a great scope to improve the farmer's income, because the staple crops like cereals, pulses, oilseeds, and all, they occupy 77% of the total gross cropped area, but contribute only 41% of the total output in this cropping sector. And almost same value of output was contributed by high value crops like fruit, vegetables, fibers, condiments, and spices, which occupy only 19% of the gross cropped area. So you can see the difference between 41% and 19% having the same value of output. So this, if you see the cultivation practices, how you go with the high value horticulture crops, just you have to know, the farmers has to know the practices, cultivation practices for growing of these crops. Then you can just classify as protected cultivation for some of the crops, especially for off-season production, producing high quality vegetable nursery, then cultivation of crops like tomato, capsicum, and parthenocarpic, cucumber, jardera, orchids, strawberry, microgreens. All these they generate not only employment but also income for the farmers. And you can go for this multi-storied crop cultivation in greenhouses, and you can go for high-tech nursery under greenhouses, and also you can go for soilless, that is hydroponics growing techniques, and use of organic fertilizers, cultural practices which includes use of mulches also, that is plastic mulching within the crop. Then you can go for integrated crop management, which includes both integrated pest management, integrated nutrient management, all these things. So these methods not only reduce the usage of inputs while achieving acceptable levels of plant production, but also reduce the infestation of pests and disease by this ICM, that is integrated crop management, in which you have the integrated pest management, which is inbuilt in this. Yeah, if you go for protected cultivation, you go this protected cultivation means to grow with the improved quality of out of season under protected structures. That is off season, what we said just now. And the technology has a potential to cater for supply of high quality vegetables, because in protected cultivation, compared to open field, we have high quality vegetables, high quality flowers and fruits in the peri-urban areas, because you just can't go for open area in everywhere in urban and peri-urban areas. And this you can even the reducing the transportation time and delivering fresh produce can be done with this, because these days government has even provided mobile vegetable vans, mobile what is it, farm produce vans. So through this the farming community, they can go for transportation also to the very nearby urban places. Yeah, now you just say need for protected cultivation. If you say it is yes. As we just talked, the need for protected cultivation is, there are so many things like for higher yield, year-round cultivation, also off-season, that is, which includes off-season, then better quality off-season production, assured production. The production is assured here, unlike the open field, open areas. They generate self-employment for the educated rural youth in the farm sector, because these days I have seen many even IIT this youth, they are coming, just shifting their profession. That is, they are coming for poly houses, then net houses, shade nets. They want to cultivate this gerberas, orchids, especially all this. They want to shift this thing. So that is self-employment, you can say. Then least pesticide residues will be there because of this control system. Then controlled pollination will be there within the structure. Then there'll be weather also, we can the microclimate conditions also can be manipulated. Then easier plant protection, because it's a small area, we need not depend on the natural thing and then just go for our scheduled plant protection means. Then weed free cultivation will be there because of less weeds in the less area. The management practices for protected cultivation are different when compared to this open field production, because I have worked in research for nearly more than 20 years, and then I was in more than 30 years I was in research, and more than 15 years I was in cultivation of this vegetable research. So vegetable research station was there before, earlier to this becoming this dean of horticulture. So I was working with as head of the station for vegetable research. So I was having a lot of polyhouses and also the open area cultivation of many of the vegetables like tomato, reddish finger, and many other brinjal, so many crops. So I have seen literally I have seen the practically I have seen the differences between the protected cultivation and also the open area. And recently, walk-in polytunnels also are becoming profitable technologies for raising this nursery during this off season. Then, if you see the factors affecting the adoption of protected cultivation, you can see this climatic and soil conditions, then type of crop chosen, then resources available with the farmer, then government sponsored schemes if available, because now there are so many schemes available for the farming community. Then market availability for selling the high quality produce, as I just said 5 minutes back. The market selling is has become a little easier now compared to the previous years, because mobile vans have been provided, e-markets are there now. So the farmers need not have a difficulty in this now. They may not face many difficulties during transportation and also selling. Then if you see the potential crops for protected cultivation, you can see this greenhouse technology is more suited to vegetables such as tomato, capsicum, cucumber, French bean, cabbage, chilies, spinach, cauliflower, etc. And if you see the flowers, it is rose, gerbera, carnation, then orchids also have set. So these things can be, yeah. These are some of the structures where this protected cultivation is being taken up. You just can see this tomato in this field condition and under shade net. So these are some of the photographs which are shown for this. These are the flowers you can see under protected structures, and here there's a open mulching in chrysanthemum crop on the right side. Actually, I should say a lot of subsidy has been given by our government, state Telangana state government. 75% subsidy was provided for this protected cultivation last year. I mean, the previous 2 years probably. So the area under polyhouses has been enormously increasing, and farmers are finding it a bit easier for earning money, and even the rural youth, not only rural youth, urban youth, as I said, the engineering students, whoever have completed, they are also shifting to this, attracted to this cultivation, protected cultivation, and they're taking up. Here you can see this rising of cocoa pits and semi-permanent pandals on left side, and rising of vegetable seedlings under shade net houses on right side. So these are some more photographs where you have vegetables, tomatoes under protected cultivation, then under trellis system, then permanent pandal system. This is bitter gourd. Yeah, this is under drip irrigation, banana with drip, then tomato under drip, and right side it is cabbage under drip irrigation. These are the cultivation practices where you go for this growing these crops. Next comes fertigation, which is a very important thing in cultivation practices. This is the application of fertilizers, soil amendments, or other water-soluble products through an irrigation system that is called fertigation. Unlike just providing the fertilizers in a pocket system and then flooding the open area with water, unlike that, this fertigation system, there is a lot of benefit for the farmer, because there's a lot of reduction in um, I mean, it's reduced. What to say? You don't waste the fertilizer. You don't waste the water. Wastage is enormously reduced here. You can potentially effectively use these fertilizers, then soil amendments, whatever is even the water through irrigation system. And these are some of the plastic mulches you can see here. Mulching, it is a practice of covering the soil, as you know. So there are different colors of mulches, and you can even use the leaves, straw, grass, it's all as mulches. Yeah, black plastic is mostly used in winters, and then this white plastic of 30 to 40 micron size is used in summers, and yellow plastic mulch, this is the very useful one for in reducing the virus incidence. And coming to the high-tech nursery, there are various factors which contribute towards this low productivity. One of the factors is poor quality seed and planting material. And because genuine planting material is the basic requirement for quality production of any crop, and this is lacking there. Although a large number of nurseries and many seed companies are operative, there is an acute shortage of quality seed and planting material, wherein this protected cultivation comes, where you can raise a lot of seedlings, quality planting material under protected cultivation. So this vegetable nursery production, this has become a highly commercialized business, wherein the most farmers buy their plugs from their professional growers. These seedlings have been sold in a very commercial way by professional growers these days. And the components and process involved in modern nursery raising system, if you see, this is seedling tray, then media is there, then mechanization, where you use a lot of these machines, then in the irrigation, nutrients, then protector structures, light and seed pelleting, and priming, biological enhancement, and hardening. All these things, they come under this modern nursery raising system. If you see the measures, that is high-tech nursery raising techniques, if you go for this, you have covering with polythene sheets, polytunnels for normal weather, then sunken nursery for weather extremes. And if you go for the cocoa bits, it's poly bags, and then plug tray is also another technique where you use these techniques for raising this high-value horticulture crop nurseries. And in this, very important thing is another thing, that is selection of mother plant, because moreover the plants supplied by nurserymen, they are not true to type variety. If it is therefore necessary that the best trees are selected and used as mother tree for future multiplication. That is, you should have the best mother block. Mother block is very important whenever you have a vegetable nursery or whenever you have a fruit nursery. You should have first, you should select a very good healthy mother block, and then that mother block provides the original material for the cyan material or whatever it is in the case of fruit crops. So these parent plant must have been tested or its performance over a number of years. After that only we select that mother block. Then that will be the source of cyan material for going for further process. Yeah, health of nursery and greenhouse, you can see here cucumber, tomato, then chili, then root growth also can be seen. It's such a healthy, it is looking, it's giving such healthy appearance. Most of the times when you go for open cultivation, unless the weather is very congenial, unless the climatic factors are very comfortable there, you won't see such healthy, seedlings. And you can go for even now we can see in the cultivation practices, you go for with soil, what we spoke till now, and then you can even go for soilless culture. The soilless culture is an artificial means of providing plants with support and a reservoir of nutrients and water. This often called the solution culture or water culture. The method was originally termed hydroponics, that is water working, by scientists here in 1930s only. But now, whatever it is, now the soilless culture has gained importance these days, because in the open field cultivation is becoming difficult. So you are going for protected cultivation. Even after protected cultivation, again the advanced, if you go, you can go for soilless culture where you can use different solutions. Hydroponics is one of them. And if you just introduce like this technology of growing crop in a complete nutrient solution with or without a solid phase. So you can have a solid phase, or you need not have a solid phase where you use only nutrient solution. This is the how this soilless culture is introduced. And if you see the reasons to hydroponics, this is to get high yield and quality, then readily available nutrients, and because this is energy saving, where the nutrients are readily available, they are not lost in the soil and all by leaching or other effects. Then provide optimum resources for the growing plant. And if you see the types of soilless culture, what are the soilless cultures we have? You have solution culture, you have aeroponics, you have solid media culture. Because you use water, media, whatever it is, solid or liquid also, like solution wise. So if you see the solution culture, this is how it is. These are techniques: nutrient fill technique, deep flow technique, then root dipping technique, floating technique. There are different techniques in solution culture. And you see the circulating methods also, how it circulates. These are the very schematically given here. These are diagrams very clearly showing the plant roots are directly exposed to nutrient solution here. And using 2 to 3 centimeters deep nutrient solution is very diagrammatically shown here. These are the non-circulating methods. Here you can see the root dipping technique, then floating technique also can be seen. In root dipping technique, if you see the plants grow in small contents filled with growing media, and also in floating technique, if you see, similar to root dipping technique, but this solution is aerated artificially. And if you go for in addition to hydroponics, you go for aeroponics now. Aeroponics is plant roots. They hang in the air. They are misted with the nutrient solution. And misting is done to avoid rapid drying, because there's a drying in aeroponics. So to avoid the drying, once it is dried, the plants will be lost. So to avoid drying, you go for misting. Misting is very important in aeroponics. So this is the root absorb the nutrient from the nutrient film adhering to the roots. This is the aeroponics diagram from some of the pictures you can see here. And you can, the third one, if you see that it is solid media culture, where there's some The media is used here. Plant roots are developed in a growing medium and the substrate irrigated with a complete nutrient solution. This is how the solid media is used here for culturing this. And in this, if you see the soil, the solid media culture, you go for different types here: growing bag, then hanging bag, then trough culture, then pot culture. These different ways we can grow for solid media culture. So this is the just the diagrams of growing bag culture. This here polybags are arranged in rows, then filled with growing media, that is coir, dust, or peat or vermiculite, all these things. Then hanging bag technique, if you see, it's a lightweight media used to grow these crops. Very beautifully shown in the pictures. And this is the trough culture and this is the pot culture. So in the trough culture, it is the plants grown in a narrow trenches in the ground and above the ground troughs. And here, if you see in pot culture, the plants are established in plastic pot or polythene bags. Very nicely shown here also. Yeah, this is the media used in soilless culture. You have different media, as you know, it is coco peat, vermiculite, and different types are there. You just can see the how a coco peat looks like and vermiculite looks like, and also perlite how it looks like. This is another media where you can grow. uh, Ratio in which these components are mixed by volume is here is it has been given, that is coco peat 8, then vermiculite 1, then perlite 1 for small plants, and for big plants if it is 3:1:1, where coco peat is 3 in volume and 1 is vermiculite and 1 volume is perlite. So this is the ratio where these are mixed for growing this solid media culture through solid media culture. And these are the methods where you prepare soilless media. Then how the seeds are sown here. Then common diseases which are shown. The common disease, if you see, the main disease that occurs in is damping off. This is caused due to the fungus that is in Pythium mostly in most of the vegetables. It is soil-borne disease. It first attacks on roots and then it proceeds towards the stem and damages the tissues. Brown color of roots indicates the root damage. Yeah, common disease. First of all, I should tell you that I have worked on pest and disease of these crops for more than 15 years in this vegetable crops. I can say the most common disease, the only disease you see in the beginning of any nursery, you take up like tomato, chili, brinjal, anything. These nurseries, that is the damping off, and especially in cloudy area, cloudy season, then that is during this July, August, September, where the rains are heavy. Even in open conditions, that is in field conditions, and also in polyhouses, wherever you grow these vegetables, you just see damping off in the beginning. And it is such a disease that, and a cloudy day, if you just don't watch the crop for one single day, the most of the nursery will be gone by the next day. So you every day you have to see this nurseries, especially in rainy climate. And to manage this disease, you just can't really control to the this thing, but you can manage this with seed treatment like 4 grams per kg of seed with trichoderma, and then you can go for some other any other fungicide like carbendazim or M45 or anything else, that is mancozeb. And then blue copper is the most useful one, very effective one, which you can say 3 grams per liter of water. This can be used to drench the um, for drenching the soil when it is grown in polyhouses and open fields. Otherwise, also even in the other media, you can you mix this, and also this use this blue copper. Blue copper is the trade name. I can say it is copper oxychloride, which is available in different forms like Platox, blue copper, many other forms. So that copper oxychloride can be used, which is the chemical in all these fungicides, that is Platox, blue copper, whatever it is. Then you can use control the insects, that is viral disease, mostly in chilies and all. You have chilies and ladies finger, that is bendy okra. You have a lot of viral disease. Then there you can use the yellow traps for sticky traps, that is yellow sticky traps to trap these white flies, which generally transmit this viral disease, and aphids also transmit. Then most of the jacids also transmit. And then for polyhouses, you can have the double door entrance. Then polish sheet should not be damaged, because once it is damaged, that will not act as a barricade and everything will come through that, because the vectors pass through. Yeah. And in greenhouses, your seedlings can be prepared for bodyguard, muskmelon, brinjal, ashgourd, chili, watermelon, papaya, tomato, round gourd, and then many other vegetable crops, not just listed, not they can't be listed here, but many other crops can be grown here, the nurseries. And if you're just growing for and just go to another thing of this cultivation practices, it is growing microgreens for profit. That is which improves the financial position of this farmers. So, what are the microgreens you see? That microgreens is a young vegetable green that is used both as a visual and flavor component or ingredient, which is primarily in fine dining restaurants, because this is a little in high end this thing. They are known for their various flavors and textures. They can provide variety of leaf flavors such as spicy and sweet. So the very tender, that is the youngest part of the plant, that is leaf or whatever it is, that is used as, these are the microgreens. So unlike most crops, microgreens can be grown almost anywhere, even during winter in northern climate zones, because microgreens take so little space, because you just harvest at a very young age. You don't need to wait for a long. So that is practically it's easy, it's feasible practically, and it's profitable to grow them indoors, and weather conditions don't permit outside. So because very young age, you just harvest, it's difficult. Now the microgreens, yeah, it's a high growth business. Yeah, if you see this integrated crop management, which I was just mentioning, this includes integrated pest management strategies for insect and disease control based on sampling of pest populations and monitoring of weather conditions, along with reduced applications of products for fertility and weed control. That is monitoring of weather conditions that we have these days. A lot of we have models also, weather-based models, weather-based equations, where you just minimize the number of sprays of fungicides and pesticides, especially in grape, that is grape crop, and also in the other crops like vegetables and all, flowers and all. We can minimize the number of sprays with fungicides and pesticides with the help of this weather-based models. So this is the integrated crop management, already schematically shown in a diagram, like yeah. This is also the same thing. Yeah, if you see the components of ICM, minimum tillage and soil conservation techniques, then use of nitrogen fixing plants, green manures, and agroforestry techniques. I should say earlier, actually, in the beginning, that is not advanced cropping systems, but if you go back very previous, the very early ages, you have all this green manuring system, then crop rotation system, then biological methods of pest and disease control. All these were already were in use, and then suddenly this high fertilizer usage, all this have come. Then different molecules of fungicides, pesticides have evolved. So biological methods of pest and disease control had gone little less, and then now it is time to come back to these biological methods and crop rotations, green manures. All these are use of nitrogen fixing plants. That is, you go for some pulse crops after the rice crop or like that, so that again there will be nitrogen fixing in soils. Yeah, this product use and disposal of plant and animal residues. This is what was being done earlier. That is, you just have the crop residues there itself, and then You can even burn that, and some of the, if that crop is healthy, you can just even use it as a material, organic material, developing organic material in the same field. Yeah, and then yeah. So this is how the horticulture works, and then you just can say why horticulture works and what are the challenges of this. If you see how why horticulture works, actually, in a very few sentences, few words, I can say crops can be grown on smaller farms, unlike rice and all. You have where you have a lot of large farms where you have to large acreage, where you go for planting of transplanting of rice, and then higher value crops yield better returns because these are high value crops. Then farmers can plant multiple crops on their field. Then faster turnaround than food crops. Then you have urbanization, growing income, changes in food consumption of driving the consumption driving demand. There's a demand these days. You can see uh, when compared to previous years, now you can see a lot of healthy food eating. Like you take most of the people take fruits, vegetables, lot of greens they include in their diet. So this is the demand which is now is seen in people now, especially urban areas. But if you see there are some certain challenges also, then here the higher input cost than food crops such as rice and wheat, because input cost is little higher because for small crop, and then you have to go for many important things where you take it as inputs. And inadequate cold storage infrastructure is there now. There's a lot of cold storage required because these are all mostly horticulture crops. That is like vegetables, fruits, and all flowers. All these are perishable. So you need to have a cold storage here infrastructure. Then high price fluctuation, because you see tomato, you have 100 rupees a kg sometime, and you have 10 rupees a kg sometime. So especially this type of produce, unless you have some processing industry nearby to that places, it's a little difficult to get higher benefits from this. In off season it's okay, but in season you have a lot of produce at a time, and then that's why our government this year they especially made a mention that all the farmers at a time they should not go for the similar crops, and the prescribed crops only they have to grow, so that they will not end up with this price fluctuation. Yeah, then limited availability of market intelligence, especially for exports. So this is because the high value crops, unlike consumption, they are mostly like, if you go for some scented crops like lily or rose, they need to be exported. Then ginger, then turmeric, all these things, medicinal plants, they need to be export. They should go for exports. So oils, these essential oils, then medicinal plants, all this need to go for export. Then there should be market intelligence for this. So that is a little bit limited now. And small farmers complain of limited support from local governments, but this is not true these days. This must have been prepared somewhere before. But now, especially in Telangana government, I have seen even the government of India level, there's a lot of support from governments, from states and also center to benefit these farmers in every way, starting from production, starting from cultivation to selling, then exports, then processing industries, whatever it is. In every way, the governments have been helping them. So this is overcome now. So this is not a big problem now. I think with these things, I think you can just you can close this with this. I think few of the information which was with me I have shared with you, and I thank everyone for bearing with me for this information. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for an excellent presentation. Now I request the participants to ask their questions. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window, so that if you don't have time to take up all your questions, you can contact the speaker separately after the meeting. Yes, now let me move on to the question round, please. Participants, please indicate your willingness by putting on your mics.
Yeah.
The first question is from
Dr. Vijaya.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
Dr.
please.
Mr. K.
Vijaya, good afternoon, Andy. This is Shirish
Good
calling from
afternoon.
Hyderabad. Good to have you on the show.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Quick question. Is Telangana government still providing the 75% subsidy on horticulture thing? Thank you.
Yeah, this year I don't know, but last year they have provided 75% was subsidy was provided. This year probably they're concentrating on this irrigation, providing irrigation for then minimum support price, then procurement. All these are they're concentrating on this.
Thank you, ma'am. Just one last question. You
Okay.
see lots of this horticulture like poly houses and all that being vacant
Yes.
and being torn down or not working. Why is
Yeah.
that happening? I mean, we see 50% of that not going good. Thank you.
Yeah, this is actually I can say earlier it was there were not many structures, but once these structures had come, many of the farmers they have availed this subsidy facility. That is only for installing of this infrastructure, that is construction of the poly houses. Then they have gone for whatever I've seen. This is I can say maybe off the record. That is because I have traveled to farmers places and then have seen the farmers fields. As you say, it is true that some of them are not in working condition. Whenever there were winds and all, there was a little damage, and then at a time there are different factors like. At a time, all of them go for fruits, all of them go for flowers, especially flowers, and then all of them go for vegetable cultivation. And this it's difficult to maintain that place. That's why this year, especially from since March, if you see the government what it is doing, there have been again and again so many meetings were being conducted to educate the farmers. To make them aware about what all the crops that they have to take up in crop clusters they have made. Then crop colonies have come up in the clusters. They are going to give the schedule of farming also, that is which crop they have to take up. So this way that will be a little reduced, that loss. Yeah.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Vijaya, can I request you to kindly remove the screen sharing? Can you please remove the
Yeah.
screen so that we can manage the question round better?
Okay.
You can
This is
remove
what.
the screen. Yes, you can just put it off. You can put off the screen.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now it's okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Next question is from Mr. Ajay Dior. Mr.
Yeah,
Ajay,
Yeah.
thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati.
please.
Nice presentation, Dr. Vijaya.
Thank you so
So,
much.
talking about microgreen production, I would like
Yeah.
to know what are the basic facilities, raw material, and what is the profit margin if we start with this business?
Yeah, business, it is as of now, this is a documentation purpose, but if you go for business mode, there are in Hyderabad itself, there are some people who are exporting these microgreens. Some people
Mm-hmm.
I know who are doing this, but
Mm-hmm.
not very widely done. This one is because there are as there is a lot of profit, there's also a lot of risk in this, because in open cultivation and all cannot be that easily grown. So I think
Right.
practically, if you want to have this knowledge, I can provide you the numbers of these contact numbers and details of these people, and then you can just see those things and then those farms, and then learn how they're doing it. That is what because it's agriculture, horticulture, whatever it is, farming, you have to
Right.
practically see it and then
Right.
gain that. Yeah.
So, as a raw material, which seeds generally they use
Raw material.
for microgreens? What is the raw material they use for?
Uh, because not many farms I have visited, but anyway, I can provide you the details of this
Fine, fine.
business people later. You can
Okay,
contact
okay.
me later for this.
Right,
Right now,
right.
I don't have at my this thing.
Absolutely fine. My second question is, if I think as an agri professional, so I wish to know when the day will come when the farmers will able to decide the price of their product when they see it as a business. When the day will come that they can decide the price of their own products like other businesses.
Yeah. This a very straightaway question, but I don't think there's a straightaway answer for this because this is related to most of the policies of government level, and then like any other product which can be just developed and then prepared, manufactured. This is not agriculture; is not that way. It
Right.
all depends on the nature. It all depends on different factors, and at the end when you get the product in the sense the harvest produce.
Right.
So by that time, it can be benefitable. I mean, profitable. It can be highly profitable, or it can be marginally profitable. So there are different things. So I don't think it can be decided that easily. There's a lot of struggle even at the government level to fix this minimum support prices for many of the crops even now.
Right.
Thank
Because
you.
still the MSPs are not equivalent to the cost of production. In many crops, MSPs
Okay.
are still less if you
Yeah.
consider the cost of production.
Yes.
So it doesn't make the farming profitable. That is the main constraint.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. Venkat,
Ma'am, suggest three most profitable crops for greenhouse.
Greenhouse, it is not like that. A crop is profitable, the other crop is not profitable. It's not like that. But generally, if you take capsicum, which has a high market value every time, I mean throughout, uh, like it's a common knowledge. If you see, tomatoes are not every time highly priced. Where there's a little fluctuation in capsicum, and then there's a little fluctuation in bitter gourd prices. Like that, if you see the price fluctuation of the crops in the that particular area, you can definitely decide the crop which can be taken up or like that, because this what is it, cucumbers are also not very highly fluctuating thing. So that way you just can decide the crop to be taken up in the protected cultivation.
Thank you.
thank you. Next question, please. Next question. Who will ask first? Next question. Mr. Siddhappa, Mr. Anantram, Mr. Alok Dotekar, Mr. Dr. Gururajachar. Yes.
Yeah, madam, good afternoon. It's nice listening
Good
to
afternoon, please.
you.
Yeah.
So I joined a little late in the discussion. I would like to
That's
ask you
okay.
what is the difference between the growth time in microgreens as well as on the cultivated in the land. Difference
Yeah.
in the growth time.
Yeah, it is there. Definitely, it will be there because open fields, you are not mostly you don't go for microgreens and open area, because microgreens have to be mostly exported or only in highly, I mean, high value places you'll be using this. So there's a lot of input also is very important there. So open cultivation, when you go for, you don't generally have everything in controlled condition. Um, yeah, there's a lot of difference actually in protected cultivation. If you go for this microgreens, it's easy to have in a controlled situation, in a controlled condition. That way you can have differences. That's all. Not very big thing. But outside, nothing is in our control. That is only the difference. Yeah, please. Can I request for? Can I take the questions to this later?
Yes, doctor.
Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
doctor.
Can I have the remaining questions to my telephone? I mean, later over my mobile. I can take later after this. Maybe Any other time. You can provide my number to people and then contact number. I can take up
Oh,
later.
you have got an engagement, doctor?
Yeah, because I need. I have to clear some more files now before.
Oh, I see. Okay, participants.
I'll take note. Definitely, I will take. But on my mobile, I'll take maybe other time. Or they can
Okay.
send me through messages. I can answer also.
Okay. Participants, we have given the details of the speaker. Just due to some prior and unavoidable engagement, our speaker wants to leave the session now, and we have now completed the round of questions. I like to thank Dr. Vijaya on behalf of Agriculture Information for taking a time to speak with us. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I like to thank Dr. M Vijaya for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. This meeting will be closed now.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you, doctor.
Thank you.